time of year that we can.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Don't even look at me.
Yeah.
What kind of owl?
This little one's a barn owl.
Barn owl?
And a great horn owl.
Nope, Eurasian eagle
That's
owl.
the Geico owl.
They have him in the Geico.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The stupid owl.
One orange with
Owls aren't so intelligent after
Somebody
all.
told me about it.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
like is the guy that puts wigs on.
he was
all
the
the
guy I
animals.
raised. You saw him when he was a little baby last year. Yeah.
I was like, that's so stupidly funny.
Yeah.
How do these birds get along with each other?
I make sure that they're comfortable within the sight of each other. So when they're like hanging out like this, wearing a show, or they're perched out in the weather together, that they're don't stress each other out. But I'd never let them like come into contact.
So you
with
can't
each
put them
other.
both on your hand?
Well, I've held him like on this hand and him on this hand.
Okay, but not on the same.
Yeah.
You had to
No,
work
but
out
that's
until
where,
things
like,
go bad.
yeah,
Until
the
that one
parents
wants to
talk.
eat
You don't
that
think he's
one.
heavy enough for one hand?
I hope to. I'd like to get a female.
I mean, he's a
and
pretty big
and
bird.
male. They would hang out. Like we said during the program, they cooperatively hunt. They'll hang out. They'll be social.
And you said the Harris's hawk is pretty sociable with
Yeah,
They hunt in
other
packs.
species.
other Harris hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what some guys here? What's the biggest cast that you know of who has like the highest number of Harris hawks on the tournament?
Oh, I'd have to look.
Is there anybody
Yeah.
with 5 or 6 of them?
I don't know if there's anybody with fires.
In other states, that sometimes you'll get guys with, or gals too, with 5 or 6 Harris hawks, and they'll go out and
Take them all
Hunt
out.
take
together.
them all out at once. It's pretty awesome. They'll terrorize the rabbits, but it's pretty cool.
It's
But
a
here,
circle
yeah,
of
probably
life.
most people flying
Alan's on that.
flying
thing,
2 or
yeah.
3 at a time,
That's what they do.
or
And
just
were
one Harris hawk at a time. That's all last year. That's all I did was just flew my
Hey, Taylor,
male.
put your finger near those talons and get a perspective.
Put it on your head.
Yeah.
Get perspective. Just put it down there.
Put a mouse in your
I'll
hand
do that
and
if
run really
we
fast.
could put it on your head.
Yeah, let's take.
Yeah,
Stop it.
You get fed when you get home. So that shows that Jim Henson didn't invent the Muppet. Again, took observation
eyes.
from nature.
If
Yeah.
you turned all these birds loose, could they all fend for themselves?
Probably not. Certainly, the non-native guy, like the eagle owl, the sacred falcon, could have serious biological repercustions. So there's some pretty specific regulations
weather
when we
and
even
stuff.
just free fly them that
No,
I have
like in
to
their
tracking.
own habitat.
But yeah, they would and even a native bird like the barn owl, still the regulations wouldn't allow me. I'd need special permission from you guys and Fish and Wildlife. They'd ask why am I releasing a barn owl, and then also part of that would be they'd probably want to know what training are you doing with that so that we know it has a good chance of survival.
So they would be maybe more likely to survive in the wild if they were not an imprint? Imprints
yeah, absolutely.
Imprints are probably
non-imprinted.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whereas like from a young, they always get food that's prepared. I train them. I associate food with me. If I was training a bird or to be released in the wild, rehabbing it, I would never create those same
Can that kill a
associations.
cat?
So an imprint is when it gets imprinted on the humans, and now
Yeah,
you're
because
its
in a
mom,
week
and
he would just
yeah.
be flying into somebody's
Can a
backyard.
barn owl take out a cat?
The barn owl, no. In fact, cats and other domestic animals kill millions of birds every year across America, including owls like the barn owl. The big owl here, in the wild, he catches skunks in the wild.
Really?
One of the only natural predators of skunks.
So the biggest animal he
Pretty
could
heavy.
have. More by my
So he could potentially take a domestic cat. And yes, in the past, people have hunted
Do you
them
see
on
how
feral
We don't
dogs.
want that phone call. My neighbor sending his birds after my cats. We've had that phone call before, so we don't want that phone call.
What kind of bird was it?
It was somebody's falconry bird. I don't know specifically
Or they were
what it
just
was.
concerned it might?
No, the guy
It
was
went after
actually
Tried
having
to-
it go after the
You don't know what
cats.
species it was?
No,
It had to have been out there.
it had to be a bigger
'Cause,
bird,
yeah,
so.
maybe a red tail would get aggressive enough that,
Or just torment him or something.
yeah.
Or maybe the neighbor was just paranoid.
But
Thought
a lot
they
of
were gonna
times
get his
people will
cat.
say that to me is oh, is he going to get my cat? Or
My little dog.
And so I always mention that. And no, it's the other way around. Dogs and cats kill and harass way more wildlife than the
But little dogs can definitely be taken by an owl or something.
Maybe, but for every little dog that ever has been taken by an owl or a coyote, there's
Right.
been a billion, literally a billion birds probably taken by a cat. So it's one of those things.
It all
it's
comes
like,
back.
A couple dogs.
humans have
that
spontaneously combusted, but do
1
we
to
all
5,
worry
it's all
about
good.
it? So the true threat, though, and I try to convey that to people, is their
Yeah.
domestic animals. You know, it's just they torment wildlife.
What do you have?
So, and I love dogs. I have 3 dogs and a cat. So.
Hey, Conyer.
That's cool.
My sister
Yeah,
had
cool.
it, and I
Well,
used to
it's good to
swear
see
at
you.
me.
You have to work the desk.
Poop on me.
so fun.
He's just a regular dude.
I remember when you were just a
He's
little
Cindy's
guy.
daughter,
Well, cool. Well, it sounds like we should be on for the.
and then
Is that
Fair,
the
so
one you had out there? in
Like,
the,
dude.
Hey, dude, you're gonna go on.
He was, yeah, in the basket, yeah. Yep.
You ran down the sidewalk.
You're supposed to swear at you and poop on you.
How many nights later?
Oh, gosh. Well,
I used to
10
have
10 a
two
day,
leftovers, so I
so
get rid of
we're
one.
through probably 365 days later, so. Yeah, he eats a lot.
Great eyes.
But I'll feed him other things too. He gets strips of duck or quail. Occasionally I give him chicken. It's really not the best thing, but they're chickens that, like, I'll have friends that raise chickens and then they end up with a rooster or something, or the hens get too old to lay.
Get
So
lost in the fight,
if it's,
Gavin.
if it's a chicken that I can
The neighbors.
butcher
It
myself,
lost the
the
fight.
chicken from the
Quail
grocery
run.
store has been like pumped full of like
Hormones.
saline and yeah, like all the. So it's really not.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, Anita.
Yeah, again.